control jet pace with 5 gold racers, 90 seconds to the shoot.
We've really just taken it to the next level here at the fastest motorsport in the world here in Reno.
White flag, white flag.
Well, we're out in the desert. We're here to win. We're here to take first on Sunday.
We're on the pole position today. It's Sunday. We're ready to get after it.
4 gold pace is 3 minutes from the shoot.
You don't want to blow up your engine 3 days before the gold race, so sometimes you save a little bit. You're always saving a little bit for Sunday.
It's such a rush to fly with those guys.
Each day, things get ramped up a bit more. By Sunday, there'll be nothing but serious business out here because, we all know the consequences of having a failure out on the course.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2019 Jet Gold Race.
I'm ready. You guys ready? All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Have fun.
You found the STIHL National Championship Air Races presented by Reno Tahoe.
Final day at this one-of-a-kind event here in Reno, Tahoe, that is on the bucket list of every air racing fan in the world. We've all come here to see the national championships crowned in every race today. And our final effort from Reno is a gold race. We are just about ready to get started with Jet Gold. Steve Stavrakakis, take it away.
Tommy, thanks so much. As our first race heads for the 8-mile jet course, our Embraer Phenom pace plane will bring them down the chute. When they get line abreast, they have to remain in their respective lanes until they get to the guide pylon. The adrenaline goes up, the throttles go forward. Let's go to the cockpit for this most intense drag race in all of jet racing.
Race control, jet pace in flight, 2 minutes from the chute.
Jet Gold flight race control, cleared onto the course.
Good, Jets, here we go downhill. Looking good out there, guys. Keep working it forward. 1,000 feet now, Jets, 300 knots. Hold what you got. Looking good, Jets. Start pylons at your 11:30. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2019 Jet Gold Race.
You heard it. Our racers are on the course. Now they have to stay in their respective lanes. They can accelerate ahead of the aircraft next to them, but they cannot change out of that lane until they get to the guide pylon. It's drag race on. Guide pylons coming up very, very rapidly. 2 football fields per second as they dive for that guide pylon. Okay, Pete Zaccanino was in the pole. He parlayed that pole position into the lead aircraft as they roll around the guide pylon.
Coming out of that, you see the champion from 2013, 2015, Pete Zaccanino. As you mentioned, the top qualifier coming in here. And again, the pole position has been translated into a huge advantage over the rest of the field. We have 7 airplanes in this race right here, 7 pre-qualifiers, and also Bob McCormick, who also made a step up in class from the B section now. So we've got him with a perfect dance card as well. Pete Zaccanino was got an almost perfect dance card. But this should be good, tight racing, unless Pete can figure out some way to leave the field behind.
Well, my money is that he can find a way to leave the field behind because he is in clean air and he is flying just lucky. He's got 1 championship in this airplane already, 2 to his name. He knows his way around the course. He knows how important that clean air is by being out in front. And he knows he's going to want to stay there for that clean air and let everybody else mix it up behind him.
Giving chase right now is Mike Steiger in American Spirit. American Spirit, by far the winningest jet in Reno competition through the years. And of course, Mike Steiger won it all last year, 2018.
Yeah, American Spirit has 6 titles to her name, but then again, Pete Zaccanino is flying one of the smaller, lighter L-29s. American Spirit is an L-39, the bigger brother to the L-29 Delphin jet, actually has more power. But Pete has re-engined this L-29 and has a better power-to-weight ratio.
Zaccanino in charge for now, so let's take a moment to recognize our Visit RenoTahoe.com, Reno Tahoe Top Guns. And yes, today it's the fans.
2019 Reno Air Races.
Thousands and thousands of fans during this special week. Really one big family celebrating their passion. A family that includes Pylon Pressman Emeritus Larry Pizzori.
We are here out at the infamous Stead Air Force Base for the National Championship Air Races. Here, this is my 35th year, and I have my dog here, Air Dog, and we just kind of answer questions and talk to all of the people here. People know it's here, and they plan the year to come here to Reno for the air races. We enjoy this kind of stuff. Fast airplanes and wild pilots and all the fast women that they bring, It's really just nice to talk and have a good time.
flag, white flag.
Pete Zaccanino rolls into his bell lap. He's got 8 short miles to go, and he's going to end the 3-year dominance of American Spirit.
Well, as we mentioned, Pete has an almost perfect racing record here this week in Reno. He only missed out on the first race, and that was won by Jerry Jive Kirby in the de Havilland Vampire, which that's a plane that Pete won one of his championships and later put it down in the desert the year after that and missed out on another championship.
54-24, 6 o'clock.
You know, sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the bug.
Ah, well put right there. Pete Zaccanino, well thought of. He gives all the credit to his team, as do, well, full disclosure, most of the pilots working here at this incredible event each and every year. All he's got to do is fly that clean air all the way home. It's got to be a wonderful feeling for Pete Zaccanino.
As he rounds pylon 7, 8, and 9 for the last time, en route to his 3rd Jet Gold Championship.
Checker flag,
Pete Zaccanino.
Great work this week in Reno. Pete Zaccanino, number 1. Mike Steiger, American Spirit, finishing in 2nd and 3rd place. Scott Farnsworth, and no compromises.
It was fun. Plane was fast. My crew was awesome. But it wasn't as bad as it could have been today. It was bumpy, but it wasn't that bad. And just wait to hear we got a clean race and gold's in the bag.
The gold is in the bag in the jet class. Coming up next, the final national championship round for the sport class. And as you know, we got 2 teams who may be on a course to butt heads. That's when we return.
The STIHL National Championship Air Races are proudly presented by Reno Tahoe. Visit renotahoe.com. And brought to you by Oris, the official timekeeper of the National Championship Air Races. And presented by STIHL, maker of a full line of gasoline and battery-powered handheld outdoor power equipment. Find yours only at your authorized STIHL dealer. You found the STIHL National Championship Air Races, presented by Reno Tahoe.
Well, for years and years, it's been known as the biggest little city in the world. That is the slogan for Reno, this beautiful, glittering gem in the desert, hard up against the Sierra Nevadas, and the region itself, inspiring, vibrant. The colors are unbelievable. The sense of imagination, the sense of fun, and no shortage of things to do with exciting nightlife options, great dining, drinking options, and well over 100 special events throughout the year. A special place, larger than life in many, many ways.
Speaking of larger than life, how about our world's fastest home builds getting ready to take to the course right now, covering the Nevada desert at almost 2 football fields per second in an airplane you can build in your garage. They too run our jet course, the 8-mile course, due to the amazing speed from these home builds. Let's jump in the cockpit of one of these home builds as the pace plane leads them onto the course.
1 minute from the release.
Sport Gold Flight Race Control, cleared onto the course.
All right, 39, set the line on 3042, move it up. Everybody line it up. It looks outstanding. Good job, 47. Hold that line. Nobody out in front of 47. He's about as far forward as I want you. Outstanding. Gentlemen, you have a race. Have fun.
You heard it. Our Sport Gold racers are cleared onto the course as our jet pace plane breaks formation and pulls up. We've got a 400-mile-an-hour shootout heading for the guide pylon between our reigning champion Andrew Finley and our 6-time champion Jeff Lavelle. This is the gunfight everybody's been waiting for all week long as they hit the guide pylon at over 400 miles per hour.
39's Mayday. 39's Mayday.
Break. Attention, all aircraft, emergency in progress.
We were at the 39.
And with that moan ended Jeff Lavelle's quest for a 7th Sport Gold Championship.
Runway, Jeff.
39's going for 1-4.
Control, copy 1-4.
As Andrew Finley has clean air and nobody on his tail right now.
Well, you could hear that audible moan from the fans in the crowd there. They were spoiling for this shootout in the final, the gold race here. And, well, we're not going to get to be treated to that this time, but we do have to hand it to Andrew Finley. You know, he has been working toward this goal for a long, long time. He's been wanting to be the greatest rival of Jeff Lavelle, and last year he made it happen. He won the championship, and just great effort, just trying to outwork, out-innovate, and when we come to this special week, outrace everybody. And so far, that's what he's been doing all week long. He's won all of his preliminary races.
And speaking of out-innovating, Andrew Finley's been a test pilot every time he's left the ground for the last 2 years. They just recently changed out the wing bolts, and they saved 1.1 pound by going from steel to titanium in just 4 bolts. Another thing, too, that keep in mind, if you've got one of these cool little passenger cars with a turbocharger on it, you're making 5 to 6 PSI, pounds per square inch of manifold pressure from your turbocharger. Andrew Finley has been running 55 inches of manifold pressure through that twin turbo boost, 10 times what your passenger car does.
That's an all aircraft. The first emergency has been terminated.
He got the work, he put in the work, and he's getting the results right now. That is definitely the long and the short of it. And it's very hard to distinguish yourself from all the rest in this, the most populous field of all the classes here at Reno. It takes a lot of work, and he's obviously reaping those rewards right now. In fact, it's not so much of a contest because his qualifying times and his time so far have been so tremendous. But Team STIHL and Andrew Finley, a solid campaign throughout this week, throughout the year.
We've worked hard all night. We were up till midnight making sure the plane is perfect, ready to go. Just checking and double checking, making sure everything's ready. So we got 8 more minutes. Hopefully that engine holds together. We're going to run a ton of power today, so I can't wait to see what it does, and hopefully we'll be on top of the box again.
White flag, white flag.
Even though they've been lapped by Finley, good race for 4th place right there between Carl Grove, who actually moved up from the silver class here in the sport division, and he is competing for the gold today. He's not going to get there, but he may be able to close out Vince Walker and take 4th when it's all said and done today.
You know, all these airplanes are experimental category, which means every flight is an experiment. And this week for the STIHL team is a huge victory for people such as Continental Engines, who had the twin turbocharged engine on there, Macaulay Propellers, and of course STIHL for all of their backing of this amazing race plane that has ran away with it.
Second place right now is Kevin Eldridge in Relentless, the NXT. He's about 20 seconds back, though, of our leader right there, Andrew Finley. And you hate to pay off any bet you haven't lost as yet, but that time is coming very soon for the rest of this crowd here. But just got to bring it on home from this point on, and it's not far. Got to run out the clock on the rest of these guys, and this is when the clock starts running really, really slow.
Crew will be easy to spot. They're the ones that are holding their breaths right now.
All the work that Andrew Finley has put in, all the racing competitive spirit developed since he used to race snowcross.
Checkered flag.
Is all coming together right here for the 2nd year in a row. Andrew Finley, one moment, your champion in the sport gold class. This dominant performance here, and in fact in all of our previous heat races, gives him STIHL power.
Man, that was amazing. That thing lit, and it was making, I had to turn it way up, so that first lap was a lot of power, but when I heard Jeff made it, I had to pull it back a bit because it was zinging. So bummed he made it. I was hoping to go duke it out there today, but man, so much thanks to the crew. The plane worked awesome. Thank you, STIHL. Thanks to Macaulay Blackworks prop, just hooking up. We were going so fast today. Turbonetics turbos were making a lot of boost. So yeah, thank you everybody, the team, the family, everybody out here. It was an awesome week. 4-4, oh my God, good job. That was awesome.
There's the final leaderboard for you right there. As we said, Kevin Eldridge in 2nd place in Relentless, Mojo with Bob Mills in 3rd, and Carl Grove coming up from the silver class to win 4th place. We have more gold on the way, this beloved legacy class, the T6, when we return. Reno Tahoe, what a spectacular place by day. So many outdoors opportunities, so many stunning backdrops, but when the sun goes down, things are pretty sweet in Reno Tahoe as well. More than 30 craft brew distilleries and breweries, and more in the works. The Reno eatery scene also quickly growing with new restaurants, coffee shops, and pub options popping up all over the place. A fantastic place, day or night, Reno Tahoe. And we are ready to start T6, the gold round, Steve Stabrikakis.
T6 base, risk control, runway 26, line up and wait. Wind now 210 at 10, gust 17.
And that's right, we start our T6s from west to east, and they'll be coming down line abreast as you see on our graphic right now. Our pace plane will pull up and become the safety plane. At this point, as our planes pass the steel start-finish pylon, they a sharp left turn onto the 5-mile long course. Let's watch.
Gentlemen, let's bring it up into closed trail. Split shot, gentlemen. 4 seconds. Gentlemen, nice and easy. Let's work into a right echelon. Control, T6 racers are requesting the course.
flag cleared on course.
Start working it into a line abreast. Good forward. 1-4, bring it forward. When you are released to the course.
Well, the number one, the pole position is going to be Chris Rushing, Van Nuys, California, and the AT6B Barron's Revenge. All our planes in position right now as we head to that first turn, and then everything just seems to go crazy, Steve.
Tommy, these airplanes weigh 2 tons apiece and have a 42-foot wingspan. They cover a lot of territory when they all bank into that first turn. Look at it now.
Wind 210 at 10, gust to 16.
5 airplanes in this race. 5 have qualified to go for the national championship in T6. Again, Chris Rushing leading the way, but all these planes have qualified so very near each other time-wise, speed-wise. It's a guaranteed good race. That's about the best bet we've got all week. Well, among those chasing our leader, Chris Rushing, some former champions, 17 and 18, John Lomar of Dallas, Texas, and Radial Velocity, and Nick Macy from Tule Lake, California, 6 wins through the years.
Center race control, activate still ramp code 7.
Well, they're getting ready to pass by, and this is always a treat for the ears. Let's listen as they pass pylon number 5.
Now that low rumble you hear, that is that Pratt Whitney engine. The crackling sound you hear is that 9-foot long Hamilton standard metal prop with the tips going supersonic and actually creating miniature sonic booms.
Now star ramp code number 7 is now in effect. Repeating star ramp code number 7, now activated.
Again, these are very closely matched airplanes, just beloved by air racing fans around the world, and especially here at this show in Reno.
Yeah, these were the advanced trainer. This was the last stop that our airmen flew prior to going to Bomber Command or Fighter Command. So the T6 was what they call the pilot trainer, and the T6s have trained more military pilots than just about any other airplane in the history of military aviation.
Very challenging airplane. In fact, many of the pilots who passed through the T6 program found themselves in a much easier to fly airplane once they had their actual assignments.
6688 on your right.
Yeah, these airplanes are all running the 1340 cubic inch 9-cylinder air-cooled radial engine. Stock configuration, about 600 horsepower. These guys are running 8 and 850 horsepower. And as they say, you get whatever you can, however you can get it. They are all built by North American Aviation, whether it's an AT6 out of Dallas, Texas, an SNJ, or the Canadian version, the Harvard. These airplanes are all very, very evenly matched because they're running the 1340 cubic inch Pratt Whitney 9-cylinder radial engine.
6 Mayday, 6 Mayday. Wind 200 at 11. In all aircraft emergency situation in progress.
Well, that is in reference to race number 6, Nick Macy, Tule Lake, California, the 6-time winner in the 6 Cat. Of course, the way you leave this race course is you go up above the race course, and he'll find his way to a safe landing runway right there. That team had a lot of problems, a lot of unforeseen problems. Bad luck this time around. They'll be back.
They will be back because Nick's a proven pilot. They're a proven team. They just had a bad race week for 2019.
It's an all aircraft emergency situation terminated.
Well, we're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, we will conclude this all-important T6 Gold race right here. Coming right back to you from Reno.
The STIHL National Championship Air Races are proudly presented by Reno Tahoe. Visit renotahoe.com. Don't miss the 57 STIHL National Championship Air Races September 16th through the 20th. Get your tickets now at airrace.org. And presented by STIHL, maker of a full line of gasoline and battery-powered handheld outdoor power equipment. Find yours only at your authorized STIHL dealer.
Welcome back to Reno Tahoe. Getting right back into it, the all-important final gold race of the meet here in Reno. As a matter of fact, the T6 Gold Race Championship. And the man with the pole position, Chris Rushing, Barron's Revenge, the AT6B. Holding down that lead for now. These are very, very well-matched planes, Steve Stavrakakis.
You know, too well-matched, as a matter of fact, because Chris LaFave, this was his best chance this year. He's in Dennis Buen's Midnight Miss 3, so he's on the fastest horse he's ever had in this race, but I don't think it's going to be enough to reel in Chris Rushing, though. But speaking of something left in here, look at the race going on for 3rd and 4th.
Gunslinger Vic McMahon, race 66, and former champion John Lomar in race 88. Radial Velocity, sometimes the best race, is right in the middle of the pack.
These guys qualified at like 3/100,000ths of a mile an hour apart, less than 1 mile an hour apart, and look at them right now.
It's going to take all of us to decide who's got the lead at any given point in time. You can see they're swapping back and forth. I think Vic McMahon now ahead of John Lomar. I expect Lomar to pull again. I think he did just pull ahead right there. Oh my goodness, this is going to be good all the way to the end.
They are fighting for that third spot on the podium here on the victory platform. And again, out front, we've got a pretty solid lead by Chris Rushing, followed second place by my buddy Chris Lefebvre in Midnight Mist 3. But again, the big race right now, trading positions in every turn.
John Lomar running a little bit longer racetrack right now, but able to maintain that lead through that turn right there. That's a feather in his hat, but boy, he's got to be on his toes for the rest of this race, and there's not much left of it.
Wind check, wind 200 at 11.
Well, and he's got to make sure he doesn't cut a pylon, because you know he's trying to keep an eye on Vic McMahon up there above him.
White flag, white flag.
He's got to make sure that he doesn't cut in on top of Vic McMahon. Vic McMahon's got to make sure he doesn't cut a pylon trying to stay ahead of John Lomar. This is air racing at its finest right here in our T6 Gold Race.
Lomar was able to get past the start-finish pylon. McMahon has the inside track. Can he retake third place there? Lomar still on top. It's hard to tell with this angle there. Those two are dead even right now.
John Lomar is really figuring out how to slingshot off the straightaways, or off the turns onto the straightaways, I should say. But look at this. Look how close they are. You can throw a blanket over both of them one more time. Okay, McMahon's still on the lead on the shorter course, but it looks like Lomar has moved ahead on the outside one more time on the longer course. Where's Lomar finding this extra speed on the outside?
Making my head spin, but I can't take my eyes off of it. Hey, we're coming down to the end. In case you didn't notice, this is lap 6 of 6. Our leader there, Chris Rushing, though, hats off to him. He's done it all week long. And once again, he is going to head to the start-finish pylon in the lead with clean air in front of him.
Checkered flag, checkered flag.
Nothing's going to stop him from being the gold medal winner in the T6 class.
Chris Lefebvre's going to take up the second spot, but look at the race for third as they trade altitude for airspeed, diving for the steel start-finish pylon. Is he going to do it? Oh, looks like Lomar got him by a spinner.
Man, oh man, it does not, literally does not get any closer than that. We'll just have to wait on the official results. There they are right there. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, check this out. 229, speed rating 229.715 for John Lomar, 229.714 for Vic McMahon. That is 1/1000th of a second. John Lomar wins that battle, takes third.
What a way to finish out a wonderful week of racing here at Reno 2019.
Now already preparations are being made. They're starting to make the preparations actually probably tomorrow for the 2020 version.
September 16th through the 20th for the 57th running of the world's fastest motorsport, air racing, Reno style, courtesy of STIHL.
Plan for it right now. What a week it has been in the desert. The STIHL National Championship Air Races. It's been a joy. We'll see you next year.